This video is for Algebra Section 9.2. Our learning goal: the learner will apply knowledge of the greatest common factor to factor polynomials. So you'll basically be using what we learned yesterday to do something new. Our only vocabulary term is zero product property, which basically means if AB equals 0, so something times something equals 0, either A has to be 0 or B has to be 0. Or both of them could be 0, but at least one of them has to be a 0, because 0 times anything is 0. Prerequisite skills: you need to know FOIL, because you will basically be taking that apart and reusing it. And greatest common factor, that's what we did yesterday with the tree, bringing down the prime factors. And then you need to know some basic solving equations. You still need that. And today's homework will be to finish the evens in the packet. So whatever problems are left, basically. All right, and I will move on to some problems. So for number 1, they want us to factor each polynomial. That means I have to do what I did yesterday first. So I'm going to take each term. I have a 24x and I have a 48y, and I'm going to find out my greatest common factor. So this is 6 times 4, 2 times 3, 2 times 2, and x. This is 2 times 24, 2 times 12, 2 times 6, 2 times 3. So I had 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times x, and I had 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have those in common, those in common, those in common. And then there's a y, that doesn't work. So my only thing that they all have is a 2, a 2, and a 2. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. That means that's my greatest common factor. And that means I'm going to take the 24x plus 48y, and I'm basically going to divide out an 8 and see what I have left. Okay, and I can't just divide it out and make it disappear, so that 8's going to go on the outside of the parenthesis. So 24 divided by 8 gives me 3 with an x, because 24x. 48 divided by 8 gives me 6y. This is factored. That means 8 times this binomial would give me 24x plus 48y. All right. Let's try another one. Number 3. We have q to the 4th minus 18q to the 3rd power plus 22q. Alright, well I can't do a tree for that one. So if I can't do a tree for this, I know... Oops, sorry. That was the first way, was using greatest common factor. If I don't have anything that I think I can use greatest common factor with, I can start by what do I know is in all of them. Well, I have a q in all of them. I could take that out. So if I divide out a q, q to the 4th divided by q would be q to the 3rd, because 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, I would still have 18. Q to the 3rd divided by q to the 1st, 3 minus 1 gives me q squared. 22q divided by q, 1 minus 1 is going to give me 0, so I don't have any q's anymore. So I could do that. I need to keep in mind, if there was anything that was in here that I could still take out, I could do more. But looking at this one, there is nothing else I can do, so I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, that's it. Number 5. I have 4m plus 6n minus 8mn. So again, I could do trees here. 2 and 3, 2 and 4, and 2 and 2. And you should be able to kind of look at it and see I have a 2 in all of them. I don't have m's in all of them. I don't have n's in all of them. I don't have another 2 in all of them. I don't have a 3 in all of them. All I can take out is a 2. Okay, so all I can take out of all of them is a 2. If I divided 4m by 2, 2m. 6n divided by 2, I get 3n. 8 divided by 2, I get 4mn. Alright, moving on to number 7. 14c to the third minus 42c to the fifth minus 49c to the fourth. And you should be able to start doing this in your head. What can I divide each of these by? I can divide them all by 7 and 3 c's. They all have 3 c's. So then do your division. 14 divided by 7 is 2. C divided by c is going to cancel. 42 divided by 7 is 6. C to the fifth divided by c to the third. Subtract the exponents, I get second. Which is why the last chapter was so important that you knew that. 49 divided by 7 is 7. C to the fourth divided by c to the third is c to the first. That's it. Alright, number 9. We have 14y to the third minus 28y squared plus y. Alright, well I know if I've just got a y on that one, I can take a y out of all of them. So if I divide this by y, I'm going to get 14y squared. Divide this, I'm going to get 28y. Y divided by y, you have to put the 1. Y divided by y is 1. And I can't take anything out of all of these. So that's it. Number 11. We have 4a squared b plus, whoops, that's not right, plus 28ab squared plus 7ab. Okay. Well, I could take an a and a b out of everything. Because they all have an a and they all have a b. They're not all divisible by 2, not all divisible by 4. Nothing else I can do. So if I divided this, the 4 is still going to be there. A squared divided by a would be a. B divided by b disappears. 28 still going to be there. A divided by a is going to cancel. B squared divided by b is going to be b. 7ab divided by ab is just going to be 7. Okay, and these don't have anything in common that I can take out. On to number 13. And this is where it starts to change a little bit. When you get 4, you can put them into groups. Because of all 4 of these, I can't take anything out of all 4. They don't have anything in common. In other words, they're relatively prime, as you learned yesterday. But if I regroup them, I could put these two together and I could take out a 2. I could put those two together and I could take out an x. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say x squared plus x, put those together, and then I'm going to put 2x plus 2. Because now I can divide out an x, so if I leave out an x squared divided by x would give me x divided by x would give me 1. Over here, if I take out a 2, 2x divided by 2 will give me x, 2 divided by 2 will give me 1. Then it's very important that you notice this is the same. X plus 1 is the same as x plus 1. Which means basically I can reverse this distributing that happened. I can put it as x plus 2, because those are the things on the outside, right? Times the x plus 1, because they were both multiplied by x plus 1. And now I've gotten rid of my addition. Now it's a multiplication problem. These are factors. So I have factored it because nothing's added anymore. These are multiplied. On to number 15. I have 4m squared plus 4mn plus 3mn plus 3n squared. Same thing, I can't divide anything out of all of these because they don't all have anything in common. But if I put, let's see, if I put the n squareds, that's not going to work. But if I put the 3 and the 3, if I keep them the way they are, but I just kind of split them, you should see they have some things in common. Then I can take things out. I can take out a 4, and I can take out an m. And I would have an m left in there. 4m squared divided by 4m would give me m. 4mn divided by 4m would just leave an n. Okay, try the same thing over here. I can take a 3 out. They both have a 3, and they both have an n. Left in there, I would have 3mn divided by 3n would leave me with an m. 3n squared divided by 3n would leave me with an n. And again, they do this on purpose, that you will get the same thing here. So I can undistribute that again, basically. You're going backwards from distributing and making it back into a binomial times binomial. Okay? And again, because I have two things multiplied now, that is factored. There are no longer any adding problems in there. It's just factored. Number 17. We have 12a squared plus 3a minus 8a minus 2. Alright, again, I can't take a 2, I can't take a 3, I can't take an a. They don't have anything in common. So I've got to find two groups. Well, 2 would work with anything except a 3a. So I could put 3a with the 12 because those I can take out a 3. And here I can take out a 2. So let's try it that way. I'm going to change this to negative so I don't get confused. And separate that. I can divide out a 3 and an a. 12 divided by 3 is 4. A squared divided by a is a. 3a divided by 3a, 1. Over here I could take out a 2 because that's the only thing I can. And I would get negative 4 because negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4a. Minus 2 divided by 2 is 1. Well, I got almost the same thing. Is there a way that I can fix that? Well, I want these to be positive. If they're times this 2, couldn't I make it negative 2 and then these would be positive? That would work. Then it would be the same. So now I can basically undistribute again. So I have a 3a plus negative 2, or minus 2, I can make that minus, times 4a plus 1. And again, that is factored because those are two things you have to multiply together. Alright, second page. On the second page, this is where you're using that zero product property. They gave you x times x plus 3 equals 0. These two things are multiplied. So either x has to be 0 or x plus 3 has to be 0. Either one. I don't know which one. And I need to solve this, so minus 3 on both sides. So either x is negative 3 or x is 0 is my answer. I actually have two answers. And that's right. Okay? And you should be able to check it. If I put in 0, 0 times 3 would be 0. If I put in negative 3 plus 3 is 0 times negative 3 is 0. Number 3. We have r minus 3 and r plus 2 equals 0. These two things are multiplied, so either one of them is 0 or the other one is 0. So add 3 and subtract 2. And that's my answer. R is either 3 or negative 2. Number 5. Yeah. 4m plus 8 times m minus 3 equals 0. Again, either this one equals 0 or the other one equals 0. Oops, sorry. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides, get 4m equals negative 8, divide by 4, m equals negative 2. Over here, just add 3 to both sides, m equals 3. So m is either negative 2 or m equals 3. Okay, clear the page. Number 7. We have 4c plus 2 and 2c minus 7. So either 4c plus 2 equals 0 or 2c minus 7 equals 0. So subtract 2, and this is where that solving equations comes in handy. You need to know how to do that. Plus 7, sorry, plus 7. Divide by 2. And in this case, I don't get a whole number. That's okay. And I forgot to finish this one. Sorry. So it's either that or that. One or the other. Number 9. We have 4y squared equals 28y. Well, this one's a little bit different. I don't have a 0. But I can divide something out of both sides to get rid of it. I could divide this by a 4 and a 4 and a y and a y. Let's start there. That'll leave me with y and 7. Because 4 is canceled. 2 minus 1 is 1. 28 divided by 4 is 7. Y is canceled. Okay, so that's one way you could do it. You could also have done, I could have subtracted 28y and said that equals 0. Now I can factor it. Same way I knew 4y could come out. So I would get y minus 7 equals 0. And this is what's kind of important. If I did it this way, I only got one answer. If you do this, I know 4y can equal 0, or y minus 7 can equal 0. So if I divided this, y could have been 0, or it could be 7. If you did it the other way, you only get one answer. You need both of them, because it could be 0. So you do need to make sure this is going to be your answer. You're always going to have 2. Number 11, 4a plus 3 times 8a plus 7 equals 0. So either 4a plus 3 equals 0 or 8a plus 7 equals 0. Subtract 3, divide by 4. Over here, subtract 7, divide by 8. And again, we got fraction answers. That's okay. So that was my answer. Number 13, we have x squared equals negative 2x. Again, you want to get it all on one side by adding 2x to both sides. Okay, so I did plus 2x here and plus 2x here. Then I can factor out. I can divide both of those by an x, so I can put x times x plus 2, because that would give me the 2x. So either x equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. So over here I just have to subtract 2. So either x is 0 or negative 2. Number 15, we have 4m squared equals 4m. Again, subtract the 4m, so we have everything on one side. You basically need to do this anytime there is a squared involved. If there's a squared, you need to make sure you solve it like this. So I'm going to divide out a 4 and an m, because they both have a 4 and an m. That will leave me with an m minus 1, because that would be divided, get 1. So either 4m equals 0 or m minus 1 equals 0. Divide by 4, and m equals 0, or add 1, and m equals 1. Number 17, which is our last problem. Yay! 12a squared equals negative 3a. Same thing, I got to get this 3a over, so I'm going to add 3a to make it move. 12a squared plus 3a equals 0. Take out a 3, and I can take out an a. 12 divided by 3 is 4. A squared divided by a is a. 3a divided by 3a is 1. So either 3a has to be 0, or 4a plus 1 equals 0. Divide by 3. A equals 0. Subtract 1. Divide by 4. A equals negative 1/4. So it's one of those two things. That negative's kind of funny looking. Sorry. All right. And that is the end of this video.